What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rocky Fern. My name is Luca and I have OI type 4. And in today's cool episode, we're going to be checking out several different Dischidia species. It's one of my favorite. It is a Hoya relative. And so I've got quite a few colors, and they all kind of have distinctly small flowers. So let's get into it. All right, this first one is a banger. This is going to be Dischidia imbricata. And it was featured in a previous video, and it might also be Dischidia Philippines or Dischidia species Papua, who knows, but has a really cool textured leaf. It is an epiphytic growing Dischidia that shingles, and it's amazing. It has really rough texture to it, really thick leaves. Really is a gorgeous plant. Kind of showcase the epiphytic roots, which have that very spongy tissue on the roots, like a lot of epiphytic orchids and the like. And so they get wet and they absorb a ton of water, and this plant actually doesn't get water too often, but it's a really cool thing to look at. We'll get into kind of the best part of this plant, in my opinion, is the close-ups of the leaves, that purple background. The underside of those leaves are gorgeous. And then this umbel is amazing. So they come out green with a little purple pink lips to them, and then they kind of turn out to be a yellow color. And this is by far the most fragrant Dischidia in the collection. But what's cool is these Dischidias have these really intense hairs on the inside of these tiny little blossoms, and we'll get real close here and just see how much hair is growing inside of these little blossoms. This nice pink tones. And some of the Dischidia flowers repeat the same structure here. Now we're getting into Dischidia cudifolia, probably the Dischidia with the prettiest foliage in the entire collection. Just really cool 3D veination, really pretty coloring, nice long lanceolate leaf. It is a vining type, but it's still a gorgeous Dischidia. The flowers on this thing are tiny. It's probably the tiniest flower of all the Dischidias, and we're kind of getting a glimpse here. They come out purple pink color. Really pretty color. They're just teeny. Look at this compared to my finger. Just super tiny. White kind of exposed surfaces, and then the outside of the petals are that kind of cream color that lead into a pink purple with some new blossoms, buds coming out there. You can see the spent flowers there. Super tiny flower though. We'll get into some close-ups here. There's some dew that it's producing. I thought it was a really cool, pretty picture, pretty angle. Nice, pretty white color. You can see the hairs inside the flower there through the dew. We'll get another glimpse here of the other flower, and you can see the hair coming up here. Not this picture, but the one after this, we'll actually get to see a lot more of the fine hair. But here you can see the kind of sugar crystal texture of these flowers, these diminutive little flowers. And then this is the picture that has the details of the tiny little hairs on the inside. I don't know what pollinates Dischidia, but it's just a really pretty plant. Hoya cudifolia is definitely a plant you need in your collection. Here we have Dischidia nummularia, the variegata. Really pretty plant, super easy, super slow growing. This is definitely more of a succulent variety. And I don't know if it's the variegata that has these pure white flowers or if the normal form has pure white flowers, but these are small as well. Not as small as the cudifolia, but stark white. They got that sugar coating to them, and then they also have those hairs on the inside of the flowers. Super pretty. These macro shots are pretty awesome to get in close like I'm getting. I'm really digging just how much detail and kind of the wonder I get to see when we put them under the macro photography. This is a side-by-side shot of that same flower. It's kind of crazy how small this plant is, and it's still producing. I think this is endomentum, some sort of external wax, being a being a succulent Dischidia. I think it has a bit of more endomentum. Really pretty stark white flowers. This is Dischidia ovata, the watermelon Dischidia. It is a classic, an awesome trailing plant. Super hardy, bulletproof. The leaves are really pretty. Really round, ovate shaped leaves. This thing is huge. It's pushing probably 4.5 feet, and it does not complain. I have had no pest issues. Beautiful Dischidia. It's a Dischidia first plant for a lot of people who have starting a Dischidia collection. It's the ovata. Really pretty. And then we'll get into the blossoms. The blossoms on this are bigger than most Dischidia. In fact, you can see there to the right that that Dischidia blossom could probably fit 2 or 3 of the acudifolia. Here's a close-up of the leaf structure and the flower, just beautiful. We got the purple striping on kind of a cream base. No smell to any of them except the imbricata. That thing is amazing, amazing smelling, but nothing else has a smell to it. Here's another one producing quite a bit of dew. A lot of Hoyas will produce a ton of dew. These guys do produce dew, but not to the point where they're dripping. And I just thought it was a really, really pretty picture. You can see that kind of cream yellow color, kind of green here at the tip. And then because I use LED lighting, I thought this was such a cool image to capture with all those different light rays and ripples and whatnot. This is Dischidia cochleata, a very cool Dischidia. Look how stark red those flowers are. They're not open. I never found any blossoms that were open. But that black cap that ends the red blossom is such a cool find. The leaves are super textured, very rigid. It's another shingling plant, probably has some sort of symbiotic relationship with ants. Very rough texture, very succulent as well, but no smell to this. And overall the color is just that olive dab color. Very pretty right there. There it is in the coconut husk. You can just see how rough the texture is. I love this plant. Super slow growing, but still an amazing plant. If you guys like what you see, and more close-ups like this, more in-depth, in real close-up macro photography, let me know, subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you on the next adventure.